With Richbound Photography, Sacramento, California. And I do interiors photography. I do real estate primarily, but I do some new homes too, this is a new home project. And I'm just going to show you how I'm going to do a single exposure twilight shot with a sky replacement. So anyway, as you can see here, I have bracketed several photos. Here we've got this one, this one, this one, and this one. And I'm just going to use this one. And I might have used several parts from each of these, but this is what I'm going to do. Okay. Many of you that have watched see I have a special sauce. I'm going to put that on there. And it usually brings it up a little too bright. So when I put that in there, and you can see I just boost the highlights. I take out the highlights, I boost the shadows, little white, little more black, little saturated, little like vibrance. Anyway, can't speak today. Um, Bringing us down exposure wise, and maybe going to warm this up slightly. As you'll notice with twilight shots, many times you get to the point in the night where everything starts turning blue. Well, you got to keep an eye on that. But if you shoot raw and an auto white balance, you should be fine. Now, another thing I'm going to do is, because I know I'm bringing it into Photoshop now, this would be okay to deliver, just like that. Although I'd have to fix the streak because this is still under construction, but it's far from the final image. Actually, here's the final image. So lights are a little blown out, and I didn't deliver this one actually. I re-imported the lights, so I got them a little more under control. But you can see this is basically the same shot, and it is just a sky replacement really helps. So anyway, and the street I cleaned up a lot, and which would something that I would probably do only on a designer shoot. I wouldn't clean the street up on a regular real estate shoot because you're changing. This is what it looks like in reality, and when people come to see it, they got to see what you really did. Anyway, so I'm going to do one thing I do, and I'm going to use PPA Sky Replacement Actions, PPA Actions. And what it works best for me is I'm going to take out all the blue in the sky. I'm going to brighten up the blue. And this is just done with your tone, done in your color. And I'm just going to do that. So I've got this. Then I'm going to just go and I'm going to do Command E, bring it into Photoshop, and wait a few seconds. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to go to Sky Extraction in PPA Actions. I'm going to run that action. Okay. Now I'm going to go Apply Overlay with Options. And I'm going to pick a sky replacement. Here we go. And I'm just going to pick this one because I use this one all the time. If you see my photos, I got to admit you're going to see the same sky just because it's such a great sky. It's so easy to work with too. Okay, so I'm going to apply that there. Now I'm going to go to paint it in, and I'm going to go up here. And actually, this is a whole nother tutorial on its own. Okay. And I urge you, if you don't have PPA Sky Replacement, I urge you to get it because it's pretty cool. Super easy sky replacement. Let me go a little bigger. You can see it here. And certain skies work better. Certain houses work better. And I think I've got it. And I like to check, make sure it looks okay. That looks okay. The trees look okay. I didn't get a lot of overflow. Okay. But what I'm going to do here now is just make sure I'm going to go down to sky layer, and I'm just going to make sure I erase in case the sky blended in anywhere down here, but I don't think it did. So PPA Sky Swap, I don't get money from them, but it's pretty cool. Anyway, there we go. So I'm going to save this image. And actually, if I wanted to show you how to clean it up, what I would do here is I would do spot healing brush. And I would just start going the tedious chore of, oh, you know what? I have to flatten the image. I have to flatten this to work on the next layer. And it actually is probably a better way of doing it, but I don't know how. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Okay. But I'm not going to do it all because you get the impression. So we can clean it up. And for a new home shoot, I may actually do a little bit of tidying up of there, not show that. Now, I would never do that in a real estate shot. Probably wouldn't do it on a new home shoot, but what the hell. Anyway, okay, so I've got this ready to go. I'm going to import it back into Photoshop. I actually did a few other things for the delivery of this project, but this looks pretty close to what is acceptable. Here we go. There we go. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just paint in a little bit of negative exposure. Density is cool there. Just paint that in. Now one more, another layer, a little darker. There you go. A lot of ways you can do this. As always, a lot of ways you can do a lot of things I do. Okay, then I'm going to bring up the blue a little bit. Not so dark. The luminance and a little less saturation. And now I'm going to add, for this Twilight shot, a little vignette. Little bit. Just vignette 1 in Lightroom. And then I'm going to bring up, actually for this, I'm not delivering this on MLS, so, but you know what, I'll do it for MLS. I'm going to keep it a standard size. So you can, I'm getting rid of this house over here. I don't think we need to see it, but I still want to see this boulder on the left. There we go. Beautiful. There we go. And I might add a little contrast. Bring it up a little bit. A little clarity. Ooh, nice. Yeah, a little dark in here, but I'm not going to worry about it. So, actually, I'm going to take out a little of that clarity. Okay, so here was the finished product I did before. Actually, it's a little brighter because I had a few people tell me it was too dark. And this is not quite delivered, but it's pretty close to what was delivered. And there we have it. Okay. Actually, I like this sky maybe a little better. Bring this down a little bit. There we go. So, without further ado, this is Rich Baum Photography signing off. Please send your, oh, let me get out of here. Just send your questions, send your comments to Facebook. I'm happy to answer questions. I try and keep up with it. But this could be a lot better. I know a lot of people are going to say the photo has burnt out lights, and I did deliver something with a little less burned out, so I used a darker exposure. But honestly, I think this is pretty good, and I think it's quick and easy, man. It takes no time at all to shoot, no time at all to edit, and this is with no light painting. And if you did want to do light painting, let's just get into a little bit. A lot of people ask, how do I get the light painted look? Well, it's not as good as light painting, I will admit. But what you can do is do a new local adjustment layer, little exposure, your full flow, little bit lower, 70% flow density, little exposure, a little warmth, and a little saturation. What you can do here is you can go tediously through each of these ones. Do a little bit of highlight there. There we go. A little bit of light on the. So basically, we're light painting in Lightroom, and again, it doesn't look absolutely does not look as good as if you did light pops. I got a little off there, so I'm going to erase that. So, but honestly, to do real estate shoots, I think it's more than enough. And if you're getting paid, you know, literally $700, $800 an image, I think absolutely do light painting. But I don't get those offers that often, although I hope to. And I personally think that my clients do like my Twilights. So it's just do a little light painting with your Lightroom, you know? Here, there we go. And let's see over here. We got a little bit in here. So you just got to watch out for the spill of the Lightroom. Light painting is not perfect, but I think it's for down and dirty real estate. I think that this is. I think most agents would be happy with this. Close this out. Let you look at it for a final time. And you know what? I'm totally okay with this. I could go a lot further. I could have done light painting. I could have done a ton of stuff. But I ended up on this evening for this home shoot. I did probably 10 or 15 Twilight shots. So I was running around and I have to deliver all these. And they were very happy with what I did. So you could go a lot further. But for me, this is what works. So I want to say thank you for watching. Please add comments and ask your questions. A thumbs up is always nice on Facebook, on YouTube. Talk to you later. Bye.